So you know life is good when you can get a 9'6" surfboard in your Corolla. I'm gonna miss it. Hi from Florida. So here I am in the backyard. These are the pineapples I threw in the ground and they decided to grow. It is the month of July and the rain's coming in. It's about 9 a.m. Just wanted to show you the mango tree. This is like a 25-foot tree. I'm gonna miss this the most. It's my favorite part of our backyard. So you kind of know the mango is ready to go. It's a little bit yellow. These don't really look ripe right now, but this is Florida, Melbourne, Florida. So anyway, I don't know how anybody gets those. They're higher up. Yeah, so here's the view inside the car. It's pretty tight in here. I think I've been here before. A little deja vu here. Just wanted to show you, these are palm trees in Florida. I'm at the Florida Institute of Technology. And this is the view from the parking lot looking into the botanical garden. If you're ever in Melbourne, Florida, I highly recommend you come here and check it out. Hi from Melbourne. Here's most of Florida. I always like to tell people that I lived in Melbourne and nobody really seems to know where that is unless they're from Florida. Here's Melbourne, about halfway down on the Atlantic side. To get to Georgia, you just basically drive straight up the Interstate 95 and you go right up the coast. I always like to remind people that Cape Canaveral is where they launched the SpaceX rockets, and Daytona Beach is Daytona 500. And again, I just drove straight through Jacksonville up here into Georgia. And that's pretty easy. You just follow the I-95 all the way north. And I stopped in this really small town called Brunswick. And I was just to the west of that and found some wonderful lunch. Here's a sign that says Holy Hill, Daytona Beach. I thought it said Holy Hell. My eyes play tricks on me sometimes. I just wanted to show you, maybe we can see the Daytona International Speedway at 80 miles an hour. I do not see it right now. It's hiding. But yes, it is over there behind this outlet mall. Yeah, Tanger Outlets. Woo! Go get some Nike shoes. Go to Sam's Club and get a hot dog and Coke for $1.50 when you're done with that. Okay, yeah. No Daytona Beach right now. I don't see it. I'm out. The sign right here says it. And that guy's door's open. Okay. So I know I'm in Georgia because I got collard greens and I got a crab cake. I'm so excited. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Really good. Hi. Forgot to mention, everybody in the South gets sweet tea, but I got tea without sugar. And collard greens have bacon in them. That's why they taste so damn incredibly good. Highly recommend trying this. This is a parking lot in Georgia. Those are some really tall trees. And we are outside of 9 Line, which makes clothes. And they represent the military and first responders. This is a Humvee. It's one of my favorite American vehicles because it's a badass truck. And I needed to show you how narrow these seats are since I'm a skinny boy. So next time you think the Humvee has big seats, I just wanted to let you know they're very narrow. Thank goodness I'm skinny. But I think this would be a lot of fun to go driving. All right. Hi from Georgia. If Georgia were to fit onto a map on 2 sheets of paper, it would be about that big. But again, I'm just outside of Savannah and I'm on a road number 94. I just wanted to show you, this is across the street from that store. It's called the Blue Sky Preserve. It is pretty spectacular. Where I was living in Florida, the trees were not quite this tall. So, just wanted to get off the road because it always feels good. And I really enjoy being in the woods. The only thing I worry about in the woods, I usually worry about snakes. And when I'm not worried about snakes, I'm usually thinking about poison ivy. Other than that, I love being in the woods. As my friend Mary would say, there are crepuscular rays of sun shining down through the forest right now. That's the big word for the day. And the coolest find of the day has to go to this tree. Look at all these mushrooms. My goodness. That's incredible. And they just go on and on and on. Last quick note for you. If you go for a 15-minute walk, I don't know if you can see it, your shirt will be drenched. There's a lot of humidity in that forest. And I'm pretty sure the Appalachian Trail starts in Georgia. So now I have an idea of there are a lot of mosquitoes. And it's pretty warm in there in July. So I like long sleeves, but you're gonna sweat a lot. Drink a lot of water, take some bug spray, and yeah, it's different. As Willie Nelson often sings, Georgia is always on my mind. Once you take the Interstate 95 past Savannah, you enter into South Carolina. So again, I just have to show you this because there's just so many states. And I bet somebody often wonders, well, how did he get to Columbia? Well, you just take Interstate 95 and then you cut northwest on Interstate 26 and you end up in Columbia, which is where I spent my first night. I'm in the town of Columbia, South Carolina. My challenge is to eat Little Pig's Barbecue, which had over 2,000 positive reviews on Google. I think I can handle it. Let's go try it out. So this is a hush puppy. It's just like deep fried cornbread. It's really good. Pork, chicken, mac, and more pork. Life is good. And that one right there is okra. It's deep fried. As you can tell, this is a high calorie meal. It's a very good one though. So for round two, we have tomato, pork barbecue, the vinegar, which I already had, and mustard. More hush puppies, more mac and cheese, yams, and collard greens. Oh my goodness, I think I'm making up for the breakfast I missed. Life is good. So while I ate the best barbecue of my entire life in under like 10 or 15 minutes, a really nice guy named Wayne and a nice lady named Charity fixed my tire. They plugged it. Usually they plugged it because I had this huge piece of metal sticking out of it. And right now it's holding air, so we're going to cross our fingers. But what a great day. Sometimes you get really lucky. Hi from South Carolina. So when you're on the East Coast, at least one time you have to go to Waffle House. This is an American institution. It's one of my favorite places to get breakfast. They do have it out west, but there's a lot more of them out east. Hi for now. That's a waffle I can barely wait to eat. These are grits, because we don't really eat those in Arizona or in Florida. That's southern food right there. It's like mashed up corn and eggs. And this is the Waffle House. I gotta eat right now because I'm starving. But yes, just to let you know, today was a half and half day. The only problem with this waffle is how quick it's gone. I can't eat that many grits, but my eggs are gone too. Very good. Check this place out when you get a chance. Hi. They make all the food in front of you, by the way. Cheers! Got a Ninja Porter. I'm here in Nashville, North Carolina. Kind of hard to drive a car because there's a lot of people and a lot of traffic, but just up there by that church steeple is downtown. Great place to walk around. Wonderful food, wonderful beer. Highly recommend it if you're in North Carolina, closer to the border with Tennessee. So this is called Asheville Brewing, and I get a beer here all the time. So hi. So I'm at a gas station. I just wanted to show you how brilliant green it is here in Tennessee. Driving through the Appalachian Mountains. Where'd he go? And yeah, the Interstate 26 turned into the Interstate 40. I'm heading west towards Knoxville. And we're in a little burg, a little town on the side of the highway. The driving has been a lot of twists and turns. You gotta pay attention. It's getting a little bit drowsy, so you come get some pizza. But what I really wanted to show you is now I'm in Tennessee. This is a rocking chair. When I think of Tennessee, I think of rocking chairs. They're really cool. Really Tennessee. Hi from the Appalachians. Just to show it again, I went from Columbia, South Carolina, up 26 into North Carolina. So I drove up 26 to Spartanburg, and then I drove up to Asheville. And right now, I came from, again, the Great Smoky Mountains, also known as the Appalachian Trail, Appalachian Mountain area. And now I'm going up to Knoxville. So what makes this interesting for me is that's not the end of the day. I get to drive all the way to Nashville. And when you look at a big map, that's a really long drive. So that's why it's important to take breaks. So here I am in Tennessee. I don't know if you can hear her accent. It sounds very different from mine. I was trying to order coffee and nobody understood me at the Dunkin' Donuts, so I can tell I'm not at home in Florida. Anyway, the trees here are a little bit different, and the freeway got better, opened up a little bit west of Knoxville. So I'm probably about 2 hours from Nashville right now. Beautiful.
For the second time, sunny and 87. West Union, Ohio tonight, partly cloudy down to 66. Tomorrow, Saturday, mostly sunny, up to 91. And finally for South Webster, Ohio tonight, partly cloudy down to 67.
This guy's got the
Saturday,
greatest
tomorrow,
accent ever.
92. That's a look at weather all across the network. We are the King of Kings Radio Network.
Most of us think
this is the view of Nashville at sunset-ish, around 7 or 7:30 p.m. with beautiful, beautiful oak trees. Okay, and I'm staying in the DoubleTree, and I don't know why I get a king bed. I'm really lucky. I don't deserve it. But the reason you stay at the DoubleTree is because you really like these cookies. You gotta ask for them because they didn't hand them to me this time. The DoubleTree cookie is one of the better cookies. That's falling apart in the bag, but they're really good. So, if you feed a mouse a cookie, you better ask for a glass of milk. Hi from Nashville, Tennessee, and my hotel room. Here's another beer. Oh, here's the Corona Blues. And here's Brittany. And we're in Nashville, Tennessee, where everybody knows how to sing. Best voices you've ever heard. I promise. Yeah, you could go to Margaritaville. There's a lot of people downtown right now. I'm on South 4th Avenue and Broadway. kind of turns into north as well. Broadway is the divider between north and south. Anyway, there's a lot going on. A lot of people kind of like to keep it lower key, so might find it quieter. I had to show you guys. This is how people like to do the bar here. A tractor with a trailer with people drinking. Heck yeah, that's Nashville, baby. Yes, folks, they really do wear boots here in Nashville. These are not the only ones I've seen in town. The funniest thing I've seen so far in Nashville is that sign right there that says, "Don't share your air. Wear a mask, it's the law." I know my brother would really like that sign. Alex, here's a shout out to you from Nashville, Tennessee. I love you, brother. This is the single greatest sign I've seen on my entire trip. Because it's so true. It looks so silly. If you don't want to get run over, you gotta look somebody in the eyes when you're crossing the street. I'm standing next to Vanderbilt University. Looks pretty dead. But yeah, just getting lost on a walk. Great day to be alive. So I'm exploring Vanderbilt University, and this is just such a beautiful place. If you ever find yourself in Nashville, highly recommend wandering through campus. Promise you'll have a good time. These trees are huge. When you come from Phoenix, Arizona, you've never seen trees this big in your entire life. They're massive. This right here is a Ginkgo Seed, and they put this in their soup when it falls in autumn in Japan. They pick them off the ground, they dry them out, and they put them in their soup. In Japanese it's called icho. In English we call this ginkgo. And this tree had to be cross-pollinated by a male tree. Not to be too into biology, but I really like this tree because it's the last of the subspecies. It's the only one that has this type of leaf. So, it's one of my favorite trees. Pretty cool. That big building in the background doesn't remind me of Harry Potter, but this building right here, this one sure does remind me of Harry Potter. So I'm trying to find Centennial Park, and you might be able to read on that sign over there. It's just up the street. So right now I'm in Centennial Park, and it's a nice place to walk around. This half of the park anyway. Lots of nice shade on a really warm day in July. And there's this fence. I've been looking for the Greeks who've destroyed the park and decided to put in a new road here. But there are no Greeks. There's your Parthenon. It's pretty spectacular. And yeah, maybe we can get in on the other side since a bunch of people parked their cars. Really glad I walked over here. It's quite the trek from downtown Nashville. So this is the best place I've found all day to just chill out. So this right here is one hell of a plate of nachos. I'm at Rock Bottom, which is a chain restaurant. We used to have it in Arizona, and now I miss it. And this is a Fire Chief Ale. It's pretty tasty. Time to dive in. I'm gonna try and capture some fireflies here. They're really hard to capture. They're just coming alive in the grass here. Looks like flicks of fire or a match. So cool. Again, this is something I didn't grow up with, but I've always enjoyed seeing it. So cool. Anyway, gotta enjoy the little things in life. Fireflies are definitely one of them. Alrighty, so here I am. I'm at the Opry Mills Mall, and this is the Bavarian Beer House. I'm so excited to eat some German food since the Grand Ole Opry is closed. It's a much bigger complex than I thought it would be, but no one was there. So it's time to get some beer and some food. Alrighty folks, this is a Reuben. We have a sauerkraut, corned beef. Got some German potato salad, some red cabbage here, and a Polliner half-liter beer because it's about all I can do today. Prost. It's a good Hefeweizen. Highly recommend it. And let's try these potatoes. Very good. Taste the vinegar. Here's Olga up on the accordion. This is kind of like a beer hall. Kind of feel like you're in Munich. That's the theme. Not a bad place. Glad I found some good food and some beer. Hi from the outskirts of the Grand Ole Opry. Her name is Brianna Betty. Yes, beer is very popular. Never forget a good beer. There's many to try. Let's get the name of this place. I'm at the Nash House. There's a lot of beer from Tennessee. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you leave, baby, let me talk slowly. So down there is Union Station. It's kind of right across the street from where I'm staying. It's a beautiful building made out of limestone. And here's a really pretty building that kind of looks like a church. And as nice as these glass buildings are, all these skyscrapers that are coming up, they don't really steal the charm from these. So if you ever make it to this town, you gotta check out the old buildings. They're worth looking at. So if you walk down Broadway Street, you'll get to the famous part of town where everybody has a great time at night. All the bars, all the restaurants, everything you're really looking for in this town. This right here is the Frist Art Museum, which is a beautiful building. And my favorite building is actually Union Station right here. Pretty sure it's the train station from back in the day. And I really like that figure on the top and the moon. It's beautiful. If you walk down the street, you'll hit Whole Foods and you'll also hit Vanderbilt University. So yep, it all goes through Broadway, and that's about it for now. Thank goodness I haven't been run over by a car. As you can tell, there's no more sidewalk. Welcome to a cornfield. I'm in Kentucky. Greetings from the southwest part of the state. I've made it out of Tennessee, and right now I'm standing next to corn. It's about 7 feet tall. Here's an ear of corn right here. It's That's how they grow if you've never seen it before. I love corn. Always reminds me of Wisconsin. As you can tell, some of the trees have disappeared. This place is a little bit more agricultural. And that's a restaurant. It kind of looks like a distillery. I've driven by a couple. Back to the open road. Alright. So the road's a little bit bumpier here, but again, it's a beautiful day. It's nice to see all the variation, the trees. I really enjoy it. So if you're ever driving in Kentucky, you might say, don't drive in the right lane. The left lane might actually be better, because I think the semi-trucks only really drive in the right lane. Alrighty, as you can tell, I'm driving by some soybean fields. I'm out in the country here in Kentucky. Leaving Paducah, Kentucky, and I'm entering into Illinois, into Brookport. Here's a really cool bridge over the Ohio River. Hi. Pretty crazy bridge. Don't know how I ended up on the back road, but I'm really glad I did. To show you a barn with the moo cows. The cows must be doing some milking right now, but there's your barn. Yeah, so I turned onto Interstate 64 and I'm on my way to St. Louis. But yeah, the expanse of land here is pretty impressive. Here's the car. Starting to look like a Viking. I haven't shaved in a few days, but I've had good coffee today, and a chance to stretch my legs is always nice. So I bet you wonder what houses look like in Illinois. This is it. They look pretty basic. This one kind of reminds me of my grandma's. Okay. Anyway. What I really wanted to show you is this this building right here has a lot of personality. Had to get out of the car. Sometimes you see great stuff and you wonder, should I be wearing camouflage shorts? Yes, the motif fits perfectly. Yes, I get to drive into that. Looks like a lot of rain on the horizon. Anyway, it's really pretty flat out here in the middle of Illinois. If you ever make it out here, some good music with you or find something on the radio. So right now I'm at Shorty's Tavern, which apparently is the oldest one owned by one family in Illinois. It reminds me of that 70s show. You have to laugh when you come here. So I'm eating a hamburger for $2.50, like a $4 cod fillet. So life is good. I think this neighborhood, which is also off of the interstate, maybe 2-3 miles, a little bit more typical of a normal neighborhood. The last one I was in was a little raunchy. This sign caught my eye. Every day, $1.50 draft beer, Busch Light. It's incredible. So when you see a little place like this on the corner, it's usually worth stopping. And yeah, glad I came for lunch. There she is, the Gateway Arch of St. Louis. Woo! All right. Wish I had a little bit more energy, but Mississippi River is just in front of us. It's that big brown waterway right there. I still think the best way to take in the arch is to lay on the ground and look up. It's an incredible view. So here's the base of one of the sides of this arch. And again, if you like being artistic, or just trying to take neat photos, this is a cool way. Just follow it up and around. That right there is my car. And over here are some Clydesdales in the distance. We're gonna see if we can get them in view. Really hard to make out. Those are the Clydesdales from Budweiser. And we're at Warm Springs Ranch, which is right off the highway. We'll see if they come around. So the next time I come back to Columbia, Missouri, which is really kind of in the middle of the state, I'm gonna come back here. They're closed right now because of COVID-19, but try and show you how big that farm is in the distance. It's a big farm, man. It's a big one. Anyway, there's a couple horses right there, but again, we're really far away, so. Beautiful place though. If I was a horse, I think I'd want to live here. I think they're taken very well care of. So this is how you know you're at the front gate, because when you're at the front gate, other than saying Warm Springs Ranch, it actually has the Anheuser-Busch logo on the wall. There you go. That's how you know you found the right ranch. So this ranch just keeps going, and that's about as close as I'm gonna get today. I got to see 3 of them up close. I'm probably about 100 yards away. Man, those are some big horses. So what makes a Clydesdale special for anybody who's not from America? These are the big ones that are on all the Super Bowl commercials. They always make you laugh as a kid. They're very iconic. They're not a normal pony. They're very big. Even from here they look big. They look like they ate more dinner than I did tonight. That's a lot of dinner. Really grateful I don't have to pick up after them. They probably leave a lot of road apples all over the place. But it's a beautiful day to be outside. Really grateful I got to see these. Okay, so seeing these horses is definitely the highlight of my day. Until they came up here, I didn't really see how well manicured, combed, brushed. They're immaculate. My goodness. Look at the hair on their feet. It looks softer than a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, or in this case, Bailey, who's a Woodle. My sister, who's a Poodle and a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. She would be jealous of their feet. So I really enjoyed the barbecue, but I think seeing these horses is even cooler. I get to see real Budweiser horses. So right now I'm at Como Smoke and Fire. It's a barbecue restaurant here in Columbia, Missouri. And I am back to the barbecue because I really like it. So right here I've got my last rib with a little bit of vinegar sauce and some barbecue sauce and some baked beans. So I just put it all on there. Don't ever worry about 2 sauces, just enjoy both. Because they're a little bit different and they're hot. Spicy. This is one of my favorite parts about moving across the country. Good barbecue almost every day. Mmm. Really good. Hi from Missouri. So normally the University of Missouri wouldn't mean too much to me, but today I found a replica of the church in Hot Fuzz, where they push the top of the spire and it falls down on the reporter and kills him. Anyway, if you've ever watched Hot Fuzz, watch the scene where the reporter dies. This is the same church, I promise. The absolute greatest thing about being here in summer is there's no one here. So when you see a yellow curb, you can actually park your car and not worry about it. This is the prettiest building I've seen so far on campus. Look at that. Isn't that magnificent? I think it's a really nice one. Glad I got to check some of this out. My barbecue is still digesting. And I'm really glad I got to see horses today. So I just wanted to go over really quick where I started today. I started in Nashville, went up Interstate 24 into the state of Kentucky. And I only really went through the corner of Kentucky. So I took 24 from Tennessee through Kentucky over here. And it comes out to Illinois. Just a big up and down. Chicago's way up there. So I took this road from here all the way up here. I crossed at Paducah right here. And then went up 24 and then turned into 57, 64 is right here, which goes to St. Louis. And then my last state would be Missouri. So once you get to St. Louis, I took 64 and then this cross road right here, which connects with 70, but you could have switched over to 70 in town. And I took that all the way over here to Columbia. So that's where I am tonight. So I just wanted to show you that really quick because I went through 4 states and it was a little bit confusing in the car. So when you run out of coffee, you probably find yourself searching for a bathroom. I went down that dirt road over there. Anyway, wanted to show you this. In America, when you really love your state, you shoot it with a shotgun. That's exactly what they did to this sign. So I'm on my way to Salina and then hopefully to the town of Colby. And just to show you how much I love Kansas, I'll tell you, I think it's like 250 miles today. I think I've gone about 100. The state's about 500 long. This is one of the toughest tests of my entire trip. If you ever want to experience boredom, drive across Kansas. Hi. So if Missouri could fit in my lap, it is right now. Anyway, I drove from Columbia to Kansas City over here. Once you get from Kansas City, I went through Topeka and it was a downpour. So I didn't get out of the car. So now here I'm going to go to Salina and then I'm going to keep working my way west to get to this little town called Colby. So when I tell you it's 500 miles across Kansas, I'm not joking. It is a big, big state, big drive. Highly recommend coffee, good music, and some food. So I got Chipotle for when I'm starving. But, yep, at least it's a nice sunny day with clouds. I just got some gas here. It's about $1.95 a gallon. Been filling up about 5 gallons, 6 gallons worth, about almost half a tank. Because the car is so heavy from all the stuff in the car. So the reason I don't put more gas is it looks pretty low. So don't want to add any extra weight. And this is encourages you to get out of the car. Get out of the car. Go get more coffee. This might actually be the nicest rest stop I've had the entire drive. It's a perfect day. It's about again 80 degrees. I got some Chipotle and some flies and some fresh lime juice, and I'm very excited to eat. The prairie is very green. Last time I came through here, I think it was October, 7 or 8 years ago, and everything was dead. So right now, it's actually a beautiful drive. So here are some windmills on the horizon. As you can see, it's a bunch of prairie land out here. Not that many trees. These are the first windmills I've seen past Salina. And come on my 3rd cup of coffee. I've got 3 hours to go to hit Colby. I've been driving since maybe 10 a.m. It's about 3:30. So yeah, a lot of driving in Kansas, but this music's okay. Hi. I just drove through a really small town with like 10 houses and a church, and I wanted to show you these hay bales. When I think of this state, this is what I think of. So sometimes I really encourage you to get on a back road just to see what you can find. This is a good one. So here's some grain elevators, and pretty sure they put some of that grain in the silos and then they dump it right here into a train that comes by. There's a lot of these that run along the Interstate 70. It's good to get out and see them. Here's a typical house in the town of Victoria, Kansas. Just wanted to show you kind of what I see walking down the street. Other than these houses, there's this huge cathedral. Now, I'm really in the middle of nowhere in Kansas, and I'm always wondering, why would you make such a big church? That thing is huge. It looks bigger than the church I went to back home in Arizona. Because it is. Wow. This is a really big cathedral. I feel like I'm in Italy right now. Before I run out of gas on the side of this interstate, I'm gonna show you a good sign. That sign says, Jesus is real. Sometimes you have to have a good laugh. Here's a good laugh. That's how we roll, clean bathrooms. I love it. If Americans don't have creativity, I don't know what that is. Cheers.
The register looking one.
Just outside of Hayes is this amazing F-14 Tomcat. This is the same plane Tom Cruise flies in Top Gun. And they even have mannequins. So up front is Maverick, and in the back is Goose. And yeah, you don't see one of these every day. Pretty cool plane. I'm just on the outskirts of Oakley, and I wanted to show you one more sign. This one says, Jesus, I trust in you. Yes, Jesus, I trust in you to get me out of Kansas. Alright, here's a view. Wow. Pretty cool. This is the open road. It's what I live for. A whole bunch of nothingness out there. Right now, I'm at a restaurant called City Limits. This might be the biggest burger I've ever ordered in my entire life. Let's see if I can get a bite out of it. So I had to cut the burger in half because it's that big. Very good though. This place is known for steak, but I came in a little late. I'm happy to have a burger today. That right there is Jesus in the wheat field. I saw that the last time I drove through Kansas and I died laughing. The fact that I got to see it on my way out of Kansas is super exciting. Again, I'm in the town of Colby and I'm about to hit Colorado in 45 minutes to an hour. Pretty sure the girl from Ipanema would guess this is Kansas. But this is actually Colorado. This is what it looks like on the eastern half of the state. Kind of looks like Kansas to me. Right, everybody has to have a good crappy cup of coffee once in a while. This is the one. She's a beauty. Alright, we're gonna put it down. Okay. So today is Wednesday. I forgot what day it was. These are some big mills. This is very, very common in eastern Colorado and pretty much all of Kansas. I'm just in this little town off the Interstate 70. So people always wonder what a fixer-upper looks like. This, my friends, is a fixer-upper. I'm very grateful I don't live in this building. But yes, the adventure will lead me west, way down there. That's about it. Really nice and sunny. Great day to wear a baseball cap, if you didn't notice. And yeah, don't see one of these every day. Here's the other side of the mill. I didn't realize there was a train on it. Anyway, they're gonna fill that train up with some kind of corn, grain, or something. Pretty cool to see this. It was hiding. This is country music. I don't know if you can tell by the radio right now, but there are no other channels. This is how you know you're in the middle of nowhere. It's not even stopping for the country channel. It just went through all the FM channels. This is how you know you're out really, really remotely in the middle of nowhere. Here's some nice cows on the side of the Highway 24. This is the road I'm taking. Bruce the Corolla, about 60 miles, and eventually I'll see Pikes Peak and Colorado Springs. Very excited to get out of the car and knowing that I'm almost there. Hi. Alrighty, so I finally made it to Colorado Springs and the sun is setting over there behind the mountains. I just want to show you that big mountain back there next to the 55. That big one back there is Pikes Peak. It's a 14,000 foot mountain and it's the tallest one here in Colorado Springs. It's really comfortable outside and I'm gonna go get some groceries. Hi. So here's one last view of Kansas. I'm so grateful I'm not there right now. This was my final day. I started in Colby at the Hampton Inn and I drove straight west on the Interstate 70 and then came back across the border, and you either go left or you go right. So I went to Colorado Springs on Interstate 24 and that was pretty much the end of my road trip. Thank you so much for letting me share this with you. There's a couple clips that show how beautiful the surrounding area of Colorado Springs truly is.